Okay, here we are, our first video debrief.
Oh my god, man.
I'm Kasia.
I'm Kat.
And we have just finished watching the first 2 hours of the 4-hour, 2-night Resurrection event.
Which was amazing.
It was amazing.
I don't know, I was really, really satisfied.
I was too, I have to say, you know? Like,
Okay, starting from, like, the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Where the emotion on Jack's face was so real again, and it just reminded me of all those hard-hitting moments in the first 5 minutes of all of the seasons that we've seen so far. Just really seeing this depth in Jack and, like, that horror, that feeling, that sickening feeling that I haven't felt in a long time from the show.
Yeah, like, I thought too that, I mean, skipping ahead a little bit, but on the same point, the scene where they're at the docks and they're about to enter the boat, like, where he knows that Tony is, right? When, you know, he basically starts punching that guy and kicking him, right?
Yeah.
There was really no reason for him to have gone as far as he went there, but you could tell that, like, that line between, you know, his own emotion and his own anger and his own pain, and then what had to be done to get the information that they needed was starting to blur, right? Whereas I think in the past, that line hasn't blurred as much. Like, there have obviously been times when it has, like, you know, with people like Nina and so on, but that was really poignant for me.
Yeah, I thought so too. The stuff with Nina always wound up having some kind of rationale behind it. You know, it was severe, but it was called for.
Yeah.
At every moment. Like, he could have justified that, all of that. And then how far he's going now with Tony in the picture is it's really compelling and it's cool. Like, I just, I don't know. I still trust Tony.
I do too. Like, you know, to tell you the truth, like, after this, I am even more convinced that there is some other agenda going on. Like, things are not as clear cut as, you know, they seem on the surface. And I think Jack knows that too, because throughout, like, because when I saw the preview trailer with him kind of yelling at Tony saying, you know, this time you'll stay dead, blah, 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 like, I was thinking, well, how can he be so convinced so easily that Tony had turned, right? That Tony was a completely different person than the man he knew.
Yeah.
But as I actually watched the episode play out, I realized that he didn't. Like, you know, at every turn, he's like, well, no, there's something else going on. There must be some reason for why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
okay, we're happy about plot developing here. We're happy about the characters and how they're presented. I don't know, I'm really...
okay, on characters, I just wanted to take a minute, like, to talk about Janine Garofalo's character.
Oh my god, thank you so much for bringing that up.
Because when, like, the previews came out, but especially, like, the first 17 minutes, like, from the Redemption DVD, people are going, like, oh, well, she's another Chloe, and we don't need another Chloe, you know? Yeah. But I actually thought that although maybe she and Chloe are similar types of people, like, there's a difference there. Like, yeah, they're both socially awkward, they're both a little strange, but their approach is different. And I think they'll be different enough to work, but at the same time, like, once the two of them finally meet, it's gonna be, like, fireworks, you know?
Oh my god. Janine Garofalo does that. She does a hilarious job. Like, her little mannerisms, her little finger things, all her little nervous tics. Yeah. They're so comedic, but they're really, really understated.
And I love how she looks like a real person. Like, her hair's not perfect and shiny, and, you know, she's got, like, frumpy clothes, and they don't fit her quite right. And, you know, like, I think all of those are very deliberate choices.
If I may say, because I saw the first little preview thing of the next thing, Chloe's looking fine.
Well,
and she started to look fine in the last couple.
She did. She looked kind of fine in season 6. Like, she's gotten finer and finer every year, you know? I think it's mostly the fashion thing. Like, you know, the girl learned a little bit about makeup and fashion, and and then, you know, it's starting to show. But I didn't see any of the previews, but...
I just think that along with her self-confidence and being recognized for her talents, you know, she doesn't have to be... shrouded in self-doubt anymore, right? So it winds up being like a really hot character.
Yeah, but anyway, she's looking fine in all the promotional photos as well.
Oh, I just love it. So, and who else do we have? What else is going on?
The president storyline.
Yeah, right.
I think I liked it. Like, I thought that where they went with it after what they set up in Redemption worked really well. I think it'll be interesting. Like, I mean, obviously, like, it's a conceit they take, because no matter what you do, it's going to be convoluted. Like, even season 1 was convoluted, where it's like, okay, well, there's this assassination threat against Palmer, but at the same time, his son's psychiatrist is threatening to expose this secret, and then all the shit with Sherry and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, obviously, yeah, it's by nature going to be a little contrived, but it worked, right? And I think that where seasons 5 and 6 in a way kind of lost focus, because it's not like you've got all these things that are going on, right? That, you know, it was just kind of one linear plot, it happened and that was it, right? You know, this is kind of getting back, I think, a little bit more to season 1, where you've got these different things going on and you're not really quite sure how they're going to all meet and what's going to all happen, but I do think that there will be connections. Like, I'm kind of wondering at this point if this whole thing that the president's son was investigating and the reason why he was killed is maybe possibly linked back to some of the other things that are going on.
And that's exactly what I was thinking too, right? So. It's fine. It's going to seem a bit like he's diverging off the path and messing everything up, distracting everybody. But it's going to wind up meaning something. In the bigger picture,
I think so too.
It's going to be cool, the courtroom thing. This cycle.
Oh yeah, that's what we noticed that, because they said at the very beginning of the episode, well, we'll reconvene at the same time tomorrow.
Yeah, so, which is great, because they're gonna have to. I mean, they can't just burst through the doors at the last minute.
No.
Right. So there's gonna be
some kind of final quiet thing, like there always is, where, you know, Jack's gonna be with whoever he's gonna end the season with, and he's maybe his daughter, who knows, right, on the court steps. So.
Yeah.
The courthouse steps. That's what I think.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, it's too soon to tell anything. they did make that statement, so I'm holding them to that. Yeah. You know, it has to end there.
Is Kim gonna be?
Yeah, there's some information out in the media, like it's been reported she did sign a contract and she will be back, I think, for, I'm not sure exactly how many episodes, I think at least 4. So cool. Closer to the end of the season.
Right
so
on, right on, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, and I had a thought in my head, now it's gone again. Oh, shoot. What did you guys think?
Sean Callery.
Holy.
I found it so fascinating how there was that whole sort of like big bassy thwop, which was like a heartbeat running through the entire thing. It never stopped. The whole 2 hours. Like he did different variations and different themes.
See, you know what the whole thing was? The whole thing was visceral. The whole thing was inter-body kind of stuff. Like the heartbeat. Then when he found out that it was Almeida, when the little screenshot there, it turned into that sound that you get in your ears right before you pass out, that cold sweat ringing in your ears sound. He got that sound. Like, how the hell do you, like, and so then it went back to the heartbeat after that, and it was just...
I thought it was amazing, because, I mean, he used that bass, like that bass kind of thing, in every scene, in every storyline, and yeah, there were different things going on top of it, but that was always ever present, and I thought that was really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Sean Callery is a genius.
Sean Callery's our man.
Mm-hmm. We like Sean.
I hope he's watching.
What else?
What else? Oh my god. Do we like Renee?
I think we like Renee.
I like Renee.
I like her too.
She's she gets Jack. She's hot for Jack. I'm sure she's hot for Jack.
Of course she is, but I'm also kind of wondering what's going on with her and the boss, though. Like, it seemed like there's a little bit more to it.
Well, I think there's something going on from him to her. I don't think she's entirely convinced the other way around.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
Which would make a really great triangle, right? Mm-hmm. But with her, I'm really digging how hardcore she is, how totally badass she can be. You know, she's like she's moving at the same speed with the same reaction time as Jack through the whole thing. She's making decisions just as fast. She doesn't need coercing, like, oh my Jack, my God, what are you talking about? And then he has to do the whole convincing thing, and then off they go. Like, they're just boom, boom, boom on the same.
Well, I definitely noticed that the other people around her, like the more like smaller, minor characters, that were obviously below her, and she was giving them orders and telling them how it was going to be, right? So she's clearly fairly well respected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, which is great, because she's a little person, so it's kind of neat to see that sort of contrast.
And I think, too, that, I mean, even though I don't think she necessarily wanted to go along with everything Jack did. Like, she did understand that, you know, if they wanted to catch Almeida, like, this is what it's gonna take, right?
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if she's prepared to see, like, does she know the whole thing between the two of them? No, she doesn't.
No, I don't think she knows how deep it goes.
And she's not gonna be expecting this kind of thing.
No. But I can't wait until we find out exactly why Tony's doing what he's doing.
I know, I'm so...
And exactly how he was dead and then wasn't. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just kind of wondering, you know...
They're letting out little bits, like they're explaining it in little chunks, you know? It's like, here's why, kind of thing.
I didn't think that it seemed like Tony knew who he was really working for. Like, he was working for this one guy who showed up and they chatted. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll have to go back and look at it again, but... then that guy was later seen talking to the African guy, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it went down?
Yeah, because it was the guy that he was talking to before, and then he was talking to the African guy. Yeah, so there's a couple of levels of stuff going on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really so I don't know, like the final scene of the second episode where. You know, Jack finally bests Tony, because really, I mean, everybody knows that, like, when it comes to, like a physical fight, Jack's just that much more badass than Tony. Like, you know, it's just how it goes.
Well, and Tony, we've always maintained that Tony has moral lines he can't cross.
Yes.
Simply put, and Jack doesn't. Jack doesn't have any of those barriers, and he would...
But the other thing I was thinking, too, is that, like, I think... As godlike as Almeida is, like, and, you know, everything we've said, like, up to this point about his character, like, he would probably be more likely than Jack to basically just kind of, like, lose his shit and just be like, you know what, like, I've dedicated my whole life to serving this country, and, you know, and the President of the United States murdered my wife and took away my life, and I could actually see him going to that place, because I do think he does have a dark side in there.
Oh,
like,
he had a dark side with Michelle.
Absolutely. Like deep anger and, you know, I mean, I could see him, like, doing what he's doing for many reasons. Like, but I think the theory that possibly, you know, Chloe and Bill Buchanan are this kind of, like, rogue operation, it would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It would also make sense how they faked his death. Because I've been thinking about it, and I noticed that, like, you know, when it happens in season 5, Chloe really doesn't give any reaction. And I know that she and Tony weren't exactly, like, best friends. I mean, I know they kind of always had a lot of tension, but at the same time, they'd been through a lot together.
Yeah.
And when you've been through that much together, and, you know, people in that line of work don't have many close connections, like, you think she would at least react in some way, right?
Okay, so we'll shift the focus off of the non-silent clock to Chloe's reaction.
Yeah.
And we'll use that as a rationale that doesn't insult her intelligence.
Well, I mean, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's a possibility that Bill Buchanan and Chloe could have covered up the fact that Tony didn't really die.
Yeah.
It's conceivable.
Yeah. No, I'm very satisfied with the way they're pulling these threads together. They did a really good job thinking this through. Thank you, writer's strike, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But
well, I mean, there's been a lot of talk in the press about how they feel like the writer's strike has impacted the show in a positive way. Like, even though it sucked that we had to wait this long, and, you know, they did take a risk by possibly losing viewers because it had been such a long time since it had been on the air.
Yeah.
You know, it was a calculated risk because they're like, well, if we take the extra time, make a really amazing season, blow everyone away, and be able to air it uninterrupted, like, it would probably be worth it because the hardcore fans are going to stick with it no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I would rather wait a year and a half for good material than feel like I'm constantly watching people in their basements, the writers, going, oh my god,
what are we going to do now? I know, because, well, I mean, I even read, like, some of those articles saying that, you know, there were points where they did go back and they did refilm, scenes, and they did rewrite scripts and that kind of thing just to make sure they were giving their very best, right? Mm-hmm. And I really hope that, you know, that proves to be true. Like, so far, I'm really excited.
Yeah, so am I. I got a good feeling about this one.
Like, I know it's over the top and everything,
That's
but now that it's here, I just,
right,
you know...
from day one, Maddie jumping out of an airplane, that's over the top,
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
so, I will accept that Almeida is a lot. Like, you know, do I think that it was some big, huge grandmaster plan all along to pretend to kill him only to bring him back? No. But now that they're doing it, yeah, I'm willing to enjoy it. I will enjoy it. I did enjoy it.
Grab the mug.
Oh, yeah, these are my mugs. And, of course, the classic, Season 1 Tony. So, I don't know, do we have anything else that's, like, really major that you want to add?
Keep following us. Keep watching. I can't wait to hear what everyone else has to say. I'm really, really looking forward to the feedback.
Yeah, I mean...
This is, like...
Like, I don't want people to think that, like, I'm just like, oh, yeah, rah, S7's so awesome, because I'm, like, got adrenaline flowing through me because Tony's back, right? Mm-hmm. But I really was interested and intrigued in the other storylines that were going on. Like, you know, I like the presidential storyline.
I really like
I want to know why her son was killed. I want to know, you know, what's going on with that. I want the people behind it to be exposed. And
I think she was a good choice as well. I think there was some good casting done there.
I mean, I know people have been pretty skeptical, right? Like, saying that, oh, well, you know, the Allison Taylor character is going to be a Hillary Clinton knockoff.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're making some big statement on Clinton.
And she was more of a Margaret Thatcher
knockoff. You know, absolutely. But, well, I think she is a Republican. So,
yeah,
you know, just kind of because of the way things fell out, like, I'm convinced that Wayne ran as a Democrat.
Yeah.
And that Daniels was, like, his Democratic VP, but, you know, was kind of more a little bit on the right side of the Democrats, and he picked him as a running mate hoping that it would help him get elected, right? Mm-hmm. And so then, of course, you know, when Wayne was no longer fit for office, Daniels took over and you know, had the opportunity to run again to get reelected, but they imply in the Redemption movie that he didn't really want to get reelected, that he just wanted to wash his hands of the whole thing, and so kind of rolled over for his opponents. So, I mean, she's definitely tough, like, definitely a dragon lady,
yeah,
you know?
she is. She's got a lot of humanity, but she's really...
I think it really was good casting. Like, I know people have been skeptical, but I think she's going to deliver.
Yeah, no, I think she already has. She's shown a lot of strength and a lot of commitment to the character. A little bit of melodrama, a little bit here and there. I noticed a little bit of over-the-top emoting happening. Mm-hmm. Just briefly, in, like, a scene or two. Like, the handshake, she just goes in for it, and I'm like, that was a little bit silly. But, yeah, no, I'm really happy with that. And I've always kind of been the president's little...
Yeah, the president's advocate. You definitely have
been, and I'm really glad that that's back. And I can enjoy it.
Just kind of early esoteric shit, but which characters would you like to see return this season at this point in time?
Okay, well...
This is our beginning of the season character return request.
Right, yeah. So, okay. I would like to see... if we could just bring anybody back, regardless of storyline, whatever, just for the sake of seeing them on screen.
Yes.
I would really love to see Milo again.
Well, you can't. He's dead.
I know, but so is Tony.
Yeah, but we know Milo is dead.
Yeah.
He's done. No.
I would love his face anyway, but aside from that, let me see.
Like, aside from Kim, because we pretty much already know she's coming back, you know, but everyone else is not 100% confirmed. So, Who would you love to see return? You're like, say 3 characters. You can pick your top 3 I want to return this season.
Well, I really wanted to see Chloe back, and she already is. So that takes
we knew she was coming back. Yeah. That's not even...
God, I want you to go first, because maybe it's going to jog my memory.
Okay, well, I'm thinking 1 is Aaron Pierce.
Concur.
You know, I know that there's already rumors floating around that he will be coming back. Like, who knows for how long? Who knows when?
He was the one we never ever had to worry about.
No, ever. Pierce is not gonna die. No. 2 would probably be Wayne Palmer. Mm-hmm. I would like to see, like, I'm hoping that he's alive. Like, I know it was kind of never really said whether he was gonna live or die. Like, there was a very strong chance he could die, but they never really said one way or the other.
What would he give to the storyline? Now that we know that Jack and Tony are back together again, what would he provide for that little dynamic there?
I'm not sure. Like, that's not really up to me, right? Like, if they would choose to reintroduce him, like, it's too early in the storyline to tell how he could fit in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's possible that whatever scenario they're facing, and I'm sure they're going to change it up, because obviously, like, you know, Jack's got Tony now, and things are going to get crazy, but, you know, I could see down the road, like, Jack needing Wayne's help, Jack needing Wayne's contacts. I don't know. It's hard to say. And then see for my third one, I just love Novik. What can I say?
No, I know.
But I would really actually love to see Mandy return.
Oh my god, and I was thinking about her the entire time.
Yeah.
The whole time in the airplane at the beginning too, I'm like, this is all Mandy.
Yeah.
This is all Mandy.
Like, yeah, I don't know how Novik would really, like, fit in that super of an exciting way, but
Mandy and
I don't think they'd go that far, but I could see her coming back in some capacity, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, she made her immunity agreement, like, they let her go, and who knows where the hell she is now.
Yeah,
so that character return would be very plausible, like, in this type of scenario, where it seems like, you know, they're mining contacts on both sides of the law, right? For whatever it is that they're doing. Yeah, so now what are your top three?
Well, okay, so the only... I concurred with Aaron Pierce. I've been thinking about him constantly. So I have to say him, but he's probably number 2. The first one, I really want to see another little bit of Martha Logan.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I adored her. I hated her the first couple of... It was like the Chloe thing.
Yeah.
I hated her.
Yeah.
But she was so riveting to watch. She was a train wreck, right? And then she just got smarter and smarter the whole time. More and more sympathetic, and I want to see her fragile, crazy, totally dedicated, overly dedicated character again.
Yeah.
You know, she provides that beautiful instability where the panic and reality of the situation has actually gotten to her.
Where it seems like everyone else is taking it so in stride. Yeah, Martha's someone who could never ever shut her emotions off, no matter what, and I think, you know, that's interesting to have in this type of series.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to know if Charles Logan is dead as well, because they've never really come right out and said whether or not he was dead. I mean, the last we saw, Martha stabbed him, and he was rushed away in an ambulance, and we have no idea whether he lived or died.
Yeah. That's
so
true.
I would like to know: is Charles Logan alive?
Damn it.
Oh God. But yeah.
And everybody else I want to see back is dead right now.
Yeah, or so you think.
Yeah. Palmer rises from the grave magically.
Oh, that would be amazing, but no. What do you think of the idea of a prequel season? This came up on the message forum, and I'm just curious your opinion.
I think it would make a great movie. I don't know about season. I do think that if they get back to basics like they said they were with this season, they could very well bookend things. I almost feel like if they do a good enough job of this season, where really is there else to go
from there?
From there, as far as, I mean, because we've revisited all the stakes, all the relationships, the intensity now that we loved, that really hooked us in season 1. And do you keep escalating the way it had to the point where it's exploded and they can't support it anymore? Or do you keep going on this particular track, in which case it would get monotonous, repetitive? I think the only way really to increase our investment is to see how these characters that we love that are gone now got into where they were. That would be really intense in retrospect, because you would be seeing newness with like a retrospective kind of a point of view.
I think that's a really interesting analysis. The only thing is, like, we're still not sure exactly whether season 8 will be the last season.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Kiefer signed on through season 8 for sure, so we know for sure there will be an 8th season. Beyond that, no one knows. So if it were to be the last season, that would mean, if they were to do a prequel season for the last season, that would mean that they would basically have to let us know what the fates of all the characters are this season, right? And the thing is that then going back and doing a prequel season, while I agree it would be awesome, because like, I was saying this on the message board, but yeah, I think it would be wicked to do a prequel season about Operation Nightfall, because you could bring back wicked characters. Like, you could bring back Steven Saunders. You could bring back fucking Victor Drazen. Okay? You can bring back Nina, Chappelle, Mason, Tony, like... You know, you could even maybe try to throw in a little bit of, like, old school background on people like Buchanan. Like, you never know, right? Terry can make a cameo. Like, you know, Jack talks to her. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
You could do a lot.
You could see really early days
you
between
know?
Palmer and Sherry.
Exactly,
too, like,
Palmer and Sherry.
And the whole Sun storyline and everything.
You can bring back Robert Ellis.
The
like,
Sun storyline.
Totally coincides because it was 7 years ago as well. So they could even do that. Like, it would be... The only problem, like I stated on the board in the discussion, is that with a prequel season, like, you already know the fates of all the characters and you know how they end up after this all takes place.
But it could be like a Star Wars Episode 3 thing. I just totally nerded myself out, right? But you always know what's going to happen to the kid. You know he's going to be Darth Vader. So it's going to end darkly, but that... Ideally, it would have enhanced the drama of the whole series. Of course, it didn't for me.
Well, I agree, but at the same time, like with the Star Wars, you're telling a story over a period of time, like of many years, whereas this is just one day. So it's not like you can really delve that deep into how it all, you know, how Jack Bauer became Jack Bauer, because I think season 1 was how Jack Bauer became Jack Bauer. Yeah. You know, he was one man when the day began, and yes, he'd done horrible things, and yes, he'd seen horrible things, but he was one man, and then after season 1 happened, he was another man. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
At this point, that's all I have to say. I think I'm still glowing.
Yeah, I'm done, and I mean, I have to work tomorrow. I have to go back to work. I have to rewatch Still Yet tonight. I have to get ready to do this all over again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna have to sign off, but we hope you enjoyed the first official AlmeidasGod.com video debrief.
Yay!
Woo!
Which is way better than like 40 some odd pages of debriefs that you have to hack your way through.
Yeah.
We don't have our names though. We don't have our handles.
Yeah, well, we'll still have our handles because I'm sure there'll be further discussion. You know. Yeah. Just doing the video debrief kind of makes things a little bit more simple for us. So hope you like it.
And this is